really, seedings just show you who is good in this particular meta, and things will be very, very different as we move forward.
No, seeding, I think, is going to be one of the least impactful things, actually, for the overall playoffs for Korean Contenders, as it already has shown for NA Contenders. But it's still something that has to be watched. But right now, we are watching Meta Athena WGS rollout here. First map of the series going to be Nepal. We see WGS, Meta Athena playing a mirror matchup here, right in playing a little of the Magoats, the Moats.
Yeah, the 3-2-1 is what we're seeing here. So neither team deciding, we're going to focus on 2-2-2 in the future. They go, no. It might be our last match, but we're going to live in the here and now. And the reason why we run May here, not just good in general meta, but also particularly good here in Village. Both teams looking for a key pickoff. WGS going to be down early, but countering back is Meta Athena taking on two of their own. And WGS have to give up a little bit of space here. Meta Athena with the first cap.
Noah, though, going to find another. Is going to take down Name, but Meta Athena, they own the point. They still have their May alive. They have a lot of their heals up still, with half being up as well. So they can play slow. They can play around their May. Damon just looking for a little bit of poke, and WGS don't really have much, but as I said, Overwatch are going to find half.
Inyok dropping the hammer off on the other side, looking for the charge. Brigida, well-timed shield bash, prevents the pin against the corner. Jasper going to fall, and now WGS on a pretty good tilt. They use the Ice Wall, the seal off Inyok, they finish off the pickoff, and it's going to be WGS getting control.
Good rotation there for WGS. I mean, they work around the side. They find that early kill onto the backline onto half, removing all that, not only the nano boost, but all the healing that half provides for Meta Athena when they're already down some players. So with that, they just make it work. Inucast wasn't able to find much for that shatter. It was blocked by the Brigadier Shield. And now, Meta Athena have to re-enter the point. They do have the Blizzard, they do have the Rally, so they have some utility to get into the point. They're going to try to look up and set up some isolation, maybe get the Blizzard out.
Oh, the Bionade after the sleep. Inocast in a real tough spot, drops a hammer under pressure, knocks down two. A really nice shatter. It was a very difficult spot. Leads to the removal of Damon from the fight entirely. And WGS in a really good spot for what was a tough way for the fight to begin.
Ace now has the Blizzard of his own. And honestly, I feel like if I'm Damon, I have to feel a little upset because after the shatter comes out for Inocast, named he boops the Ryan, he boops Inocast, hoping to stop the pin, and pins him directly into his own wall. Kills him immediately. So removes him from the fight when there was a chance to maybe save him. Now Meta Athena once again have to re-enter. They do have the beat, they do have that grab available. They need to watch out for this Blizzard because with no Devo on the field, Ace, he's sort of free to set up the Blizzard whenever he can.
Anyhawk under a bit of pressure, time very quickly going against Meta Athena here. Ace can open up here with the Blizzard. Beat used in response as they disengage to a degree, so the Beat just tried to save man the other side. Look at that, WGS isolating into the corner. Inyok down. The fight going very much in WGS's favor.
Yeah, the Blizzard did not actually find a lot of value. The most important thing it did do was split Inocast, or rather it split Inyok and also Valentine and Damon from the rest of the squad. That was
which is value in and of itself.
Yeah, that's definitely value. It's the value of just instead of actually directly getting kills, you indirectly get those frags. And Meta Athena, because of their positioning, because of that split, they just could not win that fight.
Final opportunity for Meta Athena to get back into the point. Inyok immediately getting popped. The shatter from Inocast. Knocking things down, and WGS, a little bit of a shaky start, but a very strong finish here. Round one's gonna be theirs.
Pretty decisive round one for WGS after some of those initial opening troubles. But most importantly for Control is that we always have to remember it's a momentum-based game mode. And in 3-3, once you get that flip there on Control in this current match, especially when a Maze out on the field, is that if you can control that high ground, if you have that better ult economy, have those better engages, and it's very, very hard for the team that's re-entering to find that recontest, to find that flip.
And not just 3-3, but 3-2-1 variants as well. But speaking of adapting to the future, getting with the times, we are seeing a 2-2-2 set up from WGS, and it's an old favorite here, of course. The Reaper, well, they weren't Reaper main, now they're swapping off. I think Valentine's just going to be teleporting out and then going back to the Reaper after, because Reaper doesn't need a teleporter, he brings his own teleport.
Just doing some TP tech, and as we see some meta that's looking forward towards the future, Meta, on the other hand, Meta Athena, still in the past. They're playing their triple DPS. Obviously, it's not the past right now, but it is still the current meta. With that triple DPS setup for Meta Athena, they're going to look to dance around the shields, dance around the Matrix for Inocast and Gableshi, get the poke, and build that EMP and Barrage.
Well, they do get to a point very quickly, in no small part due to the early teleporter opening. Found in to the back of WGS. Heals, though, coming back on over. Meta Athena has not struck as deep yet. Although the poke damage on the InnoCast and Gable is still pretty good here. Unfortunately, they're unable to finish off what they start. But look at this. Barrage already built up, dropped on down. Noah erased directly. And Athena well on their way to getting first control.
And I have to say, I don't think this current setup, this current lineup is going to work very well versus triple DPS, because sort of benefits of this being meta in the future is that you can really deal with all the damage there. But with the triple DPS setup and with Inyon rolling around on the Hammond, there's so much more damage on the field. They're just sitting on point hoping they get the first flip, which they do, but they're going to lose the first fight. And in return, they've given Jasper an EMP. They've given Inyon off the mines. WGS going to have to re-enter this point as Valentine goes down late.
So, WGS is going to go to another old favorite, a final send-off to the 3-2-1, the Sombra Goats. Pulse Bomb out from Damon, not going to connect. And it's going to take a while for WGS to get back in momentum here, at least a fight to build an EMP.
I like what Damon's doing here, where he's trying to control the flank, make sure Ace isn't able to enter for free. It is dangerous as Jasper invests the EMP, catches 5, hacks Noah out of the Coalescence.
And Athena just swarming all over, and this is really kind of to be expected here. WGS had to make a bunch of swaps. They were down and ults moving on in. But I think the troublesome part is that you can be down on ults all you want, but Athena, they didn't have to expend anything either.
Just the EMP. I mean, the EMP.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty fine though. When you look at WGS, the timing that's involved, and also that they hacked Noah out of the Coalescence. Sure, he'll build another one pretty soon, but they built up a lot of ults up that fight. Jasper is already 30% to another EMP. Nano Barrage is up, mines are up for Meta Athena. They can just look for the engage. They know Ace does not have his own EMP just yet.
Gonna rotate back in one more time. Barrier out from Oporochi. WGS barrier fading and not really able to make many inroads onto the point after the barrier. I mean, it keeps them alive to an extent. But now, gonna be heading back over. And remember, time very much not on their side here. Meta Athena about to be at 80%. Pulse Bomb out from Damon. Damage on the outskirts. Ace close to an EMP. Needs to not fall. Able to get out of the fire. Teru back the other way. Barrage ready. And there goes Barrage up and over off the EMP from Jasper. Enough to take down Oporochi, and the fall through is going to be there.
That was a great farm there for Jasper as well. It was unfortunate for Damon, who looked for the pulse, gets it on the Brigida, but gets it on the shield. The unfortunate target there, the 1 in a million bullseye, which is the one bullseye you don't want. But Jasper has farmed another EMP. He's definitely outbuilt Ace in that EMP race. And they just set up the Nano Barrage there. It's a classic combo with the triple DPSs. That's your win condition. The EMP, the Nano Barrage, guaranteeing that Gable, she's out of the mech, she's out of the fight. Or at least can't TM. And cleans up everybody.
So, 1-1 between both teams here. But Athena able to bring things back to an extent. And again, say goodbye while you can to these compositions that we're seeing where whether it be 3-2-1 variants, 3-3, it's the final run that we're witnessing right now. And we saw there kind of the problems that triple DPS can give to 2-2-2 setups.
Yeah, I mean, if you're locking yourselves into that paradigm now, when there's not an actual 2-2-2 lock involved just yet, triple DPS can definitely break that. If they're playing smart, if they're playing safe and just rotating around, you can definitely get the poke, the damage you need to open it up. So Meta Athena rolling out here. They are now playing a very true to the name 3-3, though Inyok on the Hammond, rather than Orisa or Orion or Winston. WGS, once again on the 2-2-2, they're playing that bunker setup that we've been seeing a lot.
AOC, don't forget on the Zarya, shield up. Armor pack going to be making that a little bit more secure for Meta Athena. The poke war, very much in favor of WGS so far. WGS going to rotate over, try and bring this more towards the point. Meanwhile, Meta Athena, they get a chance to take a breather, a chance to heal back up, and make a decent attempt on the next go.
And WGS, they're playing so passive right now that they can't really move towards the point. It has to be InnoCast or Gableshi that moves towards that point. They're just playing to look for a pick. They built up ults, but they need some point presence at some point. Meta Athena just dancing around them.
Well, they dance, and then they stumble. 2 falling right as WGS rotates into them, and now WGS, they don't have to do anything fancy. They can bring it right back over to the point. WGS on the retake.
Losing some initial cap time there, giving it up to Meta Athena, but now they've not only hold the point, but they built up towards a lot of ults. And for Meta Athena having to reach to this point as that halt hook comes out, it's going to be tough. The WGS comp, they're so survivable against the dive. I really think that Inyok as well, I don't think the Hammond is going to be the play here when you're running against a Mei and also this Hog. You're just going to get constantly hooked or frozen, cleaned up. He needs to make a big swap there for Athena.
Athena taking a really long time to set up on the next push. Time WGS is using just to get more progress on some point. Dragon Strike can be used earlier. Gableshi, though, knocked away and dead. So Athena working with the man advantage. Rotating around. Blizzard from WGS going to buy a bit of space here. But Inyok, just in Hamzah's face, off on the other side, finds one more. And it's been a really good initiation for Inyok here, and the rest of Athena more than willing to follow through.
I have to say, Inyok proved to be wrong there. He's finding incredible value on the Hammond, but I also think WGS played a little too split. They were really punishing Inyok for his engages. There's under no circumstances should be close up to the edge that Inyok should be able to knock off Gableshi into the pit, removing one of his counters immediately. A lot of the damage there off the field for WGS. So Inyok opening it up himself, forcing the trance with his mines as well. Huge plays from Inyok, who heard me saying, don't play the Hammond in this, and he said, no, I think I will be playing the Hammond.
It's like,
I'll make it work.
Sir. I decline. Hammond on the way out. Gableshi the hook on the Brigida. Doesn't quite have the angle to finish it off. No, still have names falling pretty early in the fight. Graviton going to be invested here by Damon. Athena still going to try and tilt this back the other way. The bomb to the back. Takes down all of Heurix's goodies and the Immortality Field, but not much else.
The Immortality Field there was huge, absolutely huge for Orochi, and that's the value of the Batiste in a comp like this, is that, sure, you can set up the bomb and everyone dies. As Inyok rolls on in, bye-bye Inocast, he's off. Is he not going to come back in for the contest? They can definitely still contest this. Name going to get cleaned up. The name going down was before Inyok can get back to the point. But they burned off a lot of time. They're equalizing pretty well.
They're going to be rolling on double support ults, and they're not wasting a whole lot of time. Immediately going in, dropping the mines. Hook almost into the pit, but not quite able to move back on over. Orochi losing Mortality Field. Athena, they can dive in more heavily at any point here. Inocast already out of the fight. Now, Barrier comes in, not in time to save Damon, but it's still a pretty decent opening for Athena here. WGS down 2, looking for some way to pull it on back. Valentine would have to be the one, but he's just a hamster in his face the entire time. But not anymore.
Inyok has been zoning the backline for such a long time, but while that's happening, Teru has moved to the backline himself. He gets the cap, he manages to use that shield bash earlier when he gets hooked to get across the gap, and then just runs rampant. This Brigida just, once they get past that initial fight, once they're able to remove Inocast and Gableshi from the fight, Teru can sort of just walk around and sort of be uncontested.
WGS, one final attempt to bring this back, 99% in overtime now. Valentine gonna start out here with the Dragon. Directly onto the point as Transcendence is fading. Inyok already down. WGS some good tilt. Damon down. The Dragon striking deeply. Now WGS might be able to give themselves an extra fight or two here. They finish things off. They're gonna retake the point. Athena, though, they're gonna be coming in with some heavy artillery.
That was a good opening there for WGS. They make sure to use the Ant Matrix early. Orochi keeps everyone alive in the backline, and then a late halt from Inocast putting them into Valentine's Dragon. So well set up when there's no Batiste. Sometimes that halt Dragon is extremely powerful without a defensive ult. But look at the ult bank for Athena. They're gonna have mines again. They're gonna have all their tank ults. They're gonna have the rally as well to sustain them into the point. No one needs to get this trance, and Ace needs to get this boost. If WGS wants to stay here, if they want to live, if they want to peel for this grab that's gonna come out.
Probably out here first from Athena. Key part here, setting up the Graviton. Inyok opening with the mines, getting a little bit of space, and the Graviton to the back. 2, gonna be sucked on in early. Name there with a little bit of fall through. Inocast down. Ace though, Blizzard built up mid-fight, going back to the point. Trying to zone Athena out, but they've lost so many people here so far. Ace still on the point, but outnumbered, outgunned. And it's gonna be Athena taking the ball.
And that was really, you saw looking for the zone. It was Gableshi trying to look for the diva eat, wasn't able to react in time. Inyok sets that backline up in position. And even though no one gets the trance, while they're zoning the backline, the fight's taking place on point with the rally. And the rest of the WGS frontline just gets run over, specifically Inocast. And they just did not have any of the value they needed. AC drops the late ult. But everyone from Athena is on point. They're so healthy. They have so much damage. A little bit too little, too late for WGS. And Athena making this 3-3 work to a pretty good success versus the 2-2-2.
And it's interesting as well, where we didn't really know what to expect. Is like, okay, the team's got to come in and run 3-3 one last time or focus on the future. But I think because the future is so far away, I think the teams are probably just going to this where, you know what? We just want to win the last match, go out on a good note. And the way they see that, they get to run the 3-3. So we've been seeing it here in action. What are we going to see next map? We'll find out in a few minutes. Meta Athena giving 3-3 a final send-off here tonight, taking down WGS on map 1. And we're trying to figure out, okay, where the team's thinking here as they're in their final run for a while. Of course, neither team going to be playoff bound. They were both eliminated earlier in the season. And I think right now, just try and just end it out on a win. Simple as that.
I think it's just like, why not play for the win? And also, I mean, you see WGS adopting a little bit more of the 2-2-2 at times, so it's clear they're looking to experiment a little bit more than Meta Athena. It's like, well, we want to have an okay map score at least, even if we don't make playoffs. I can respect that. Like, I might as well play for the best score possible in the record books. You can always say at the end that no matter what, like we still didn't finish last. We finished just second to last, and for Meta Athena, I think it's very important for them as a unit, as an organization, to show those results. And WGS, it's pretty clear that they're much more open to experimenting, to seeing, well, maybe how this roster could fit in, how can it be changed moving forward into the future in the coming metas.
And there's a lot that's going to be changing in the future. But again, I also just think you're at the end of the season. Yeah, you're going into this match, and even though you're not playing to get back into playoffs and that entire setup is done, I do think that there is the entire element of players that's like, we're professional players. Let's at least go off with a good showing. But of course, next we're going to be rolling into, it's going to be Paris for the next map. And we're going to see the final phases of 3-3 and all its different glory and all its different interactions on the different game modes here in Overwatch.
And Paris is really the map where, like most control maps, how it currently exists in this meta, is that you play a comp to take first, and then you probably swap to 3-3 or a Sombra Goat setup for second. And I think that Meta Athena has definitely shown that flexibility. WGS has struggled at times during this season to be as competent and that flexibility, especially in those flexible swaps. So Meta Athena, I think, definitely has the edge moving into Paris in terms of not only overall performance, but showing the diversity of comps that they feel comfortable running at times.
No doubt about it. And also, don't forget, too, for Assault, this is also one of the game modes that, we've been focused on the 3-3 part, but also triple DPS, another triple variant that we didn't see a whole lot of necessarily over the last year, but did make a resurgence pretty recently. And something that had a stronger place in Overwatch history going back to 2016 and early 2017 competition, up until the part where teams remembered that D.Va was a good hero again.
Sometimes people just forget that having an ability on cooldown that allows you to eat the majority of damage and also ults is a huge thing, along with all the mobility and damage she also provides. It's just a really, really good hero, and insane amount of flexibility provided to any comp, generally. It is going to be Meta Athena on this offense first. Do not trust what you see in spawn. We have learned this. Always wait to see. Meta Athena probably going to do a little bit of scouting, going to have half on the Sombra. It looks like he's going to roll out. See a quick sub for Meta Athena as Shubil comes in for Jasper.
And, I mean, if you're going to sub in players here, now's the time, right? Where final match, you're not playing for anything. Give players some experience in a match situation where it might not be as real stakes pressure-wise as when you're still fighting to get into playoffs, but certainly still a bit better than the script.
In Meta Athena, they're going to see this comp. They're going to go ahead and make some swaps because WGS, they're playing that solo Orisa tank. Have Gableshi on the Torb, Ace, and Valentine roaming around on the DPS heroes and the Sombra Fair respectively. So a lot of ability for them to dance around damage, and it relies on Enocash just not going down. He needs to get constant. He needs to get that tanky if any pressure comes onto them, and the WGS to BPS just need to find frag.
Dominates to that. Inhyuk and Shubil getting real low. Inhyuk already down, and that just set up by Noah. Landed the Dominate to the back. The poke was going to be there, and remember, this is still a triple DPS setup coming in from WGS between the Torb, Sombra, and Pharah.
The Meta Athena can stymie here a little bit. Get a lot of their cooldowns forced. They're still trying to get on out. Looks like they're going to swap Teru now off the Pharah here. Again, he's going to go back to the Hanzo. If I'm Meta Athena, I see this comp. I'm also going to get a D.Va. I really don't want to play Hog into a Pharah, into a Sombra, into a Torb. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Making some swaps and then putting half onto the Hog. So getting rid of that flex support, which is something that's pretty common. We've seen it a lot here. Because having your flex support get off of something that's a little bit squishier, that's not really able to find a lot of frags or damage and be self-sustaining, but rather on the Hog allows him to rotate around and find value.
Came in under very heavy pressure, down to 10 HP, and just when you think he's gonna live, Valentine sneaks in the rockets to the back. Damon down early, and WGS continuing to hold on here. And, you know, remembering from the last match you saw from WGS, Valentine really stand out, especially on projectile DPS.
Athena, they're still looking for the push. They've already used their Valk though, and Ace is going to set up that EMP, gonna find 3 with that. There's going to be the anti-nade to finish it off, and Athena getting cleaned up here. I feel like they probably could have stopped the push. They could have backed up a little bit earlier, but you still have to be happy for it if you're Athena, considering that not only were you down 1, but you still got Ace to invest the EMP, which is probably the second most, if not the most, really the most important one for this comp.
You know, you say that and it just makes me cry in Torbjorn, where you're not wrong, but Molten Core can actually be deceptively strong, particularly in the choke point as the team runs in, and Gablesy about to have it up here.
Athena need to be a lot more aggressive right now. While the EMP is gone, while the EMP is not currently up, they need to be walking through this choke. They need to be making the space for Damon and Teru, who have not had a lot of success so far.
Damon, a little bit on the low side right now, gonna get healed right back on up. Gablesy off on the other side, and now the Molten Core in and over. Again, just moving on out, giving a decent amount of space, but also not striking anything lethal. Athena just kind of ignores it.
Valentine getting the nano, getting hooked out of the skies. Bye-bye. Half removing the Pharaoh from there, saying, I'll do it myself.
It's
and
an
now
opportunity.
they're going to continue work forward.
Well, it was an opportunity to an extent. They're going to resurrect Teru, try and keep the pressure up. WGS has to give up a decent amount of room. Okatem moves in, does not quite connect, but this is going to be at least 33% of the point. Not significantly more. WGS waiting and waiting. Damon down. Ace able to get to the back. So that's a 6 on 5. Teru, the best Dragon Strike. Make the building a little bit less safe. Sees the flanking Torb on one side and wonders, what do you focus on? And, you know, gotta focus on the Torb. Meanwhile, falls on down. Athena, though. Blessing here on the point. Gablesy down. Desperation Barrage and out. Takes down Teru, but not gonna do much else. Still Athena with more here on the point, and that's gonna be it. They take point A, and now they might be able to, not a full snowball, but apply pressure very quickly here in the point B.
Well, if they can get this stagger onto Ace, it's huge. Yeah, if they get the stagger onto Ace, they don't have to worry about the poke or him building towards an EMP right now. And that fight on the point, it was just still so favored for Athena once they actually control it, despite that frag in the backline onto Damon. Now Athena, they've moved up here. They have Valk, they have Diva Bomb, or at least they're going to get their mech back very quickly. Using the walls to make sure that Ace is not going to be able to easily poke them here. They can watch for Ace. The WGS will have some ults in return. They're going to have the Torbolt. They're going to have the Supercharger along with those supports. So they're by no means out of the bank.
Okay, we'll see. Opening up here with the Molten Core again. Spread firing. Trying to make things a little bit more difficult for Athena on the entry. And so far, Athena not really being phased. Valentine plucked out the sky by Half's hook. And it's Athena now making their inroads. Then first tick is going to be theirs. And it's a nano reset trying to bring things back. Usually not the most impactful of plays, and oh, look at that! Halt into the bomb on the other side. Athena about to set a real quick time here.
And so far, Half has sort of been the one to get a lot of these opening frags. Those Damon finds too. The EMP barrage invested, not finding much at all other than the D-Mech. And Damon and Half are just cleaning up on point. You see the pocket come out. WS looking to go for full stall, which they definitely can. No Discord on the field. Gablesy gonna be back on the Tracer. Valentine here on the Doomfist. So there can be some time, some significant time breaking off the back. But it looks like Athena gonna clean up though very quickly.
WGS did start with a fairly formidable defense. They bought a decent amount of time, but they just continually ended up on the back side of things after they lost point A. I mean, they started getting staggered towards the end of point A. They weren't really able to set up properly. And then, you know, it goes from bad to worse, right? In moments where Valentine gets hooked out of the sky and, you know, just unable to make the far work. I also personally think they stayed on the Torb way too long. The Torb just wasn't getting that much done.
I mean, I feel like the Torb in general versus the double sniper it's not, especially once Shubil swaps onto the Diva, it's hard to find insane value because Athena were not playing to walk in and take the fight, where Torbolt, the multi-core general, can also zone them. But since Athena are looking to just take the fight to the point and then play slow and just poke with their double snipers, the Torb doesn't have nearly as much value in terms of denying a 3-3 rush. So I definitely agree with you there. I don't think Gablesy needed to be on the Torb for much longer, but he kept on getting molten cores. He was like, I want to keep putting the lava on the point.
It's like you've heard about the end of 3-3, but you know we're seeing a whole lot less Torb now that we've gone the 2-2-2 roll walk, and it just goes, look guys, let me just get one final good run as Torb. That's all I want.
Somewhere in the distance, Mangachu cries with the lack of tour being played.
He'll find time to bring up the hammer. If anyone can find a way, it's Mangachu.
So WGS now going to be on the offense. A pretty good timing from Athena, not blazingly fast, but not slow. Athena playing out here with a double tank setup rather than a solo tank, having Damon on the Mei and Teru on the Pharah. So pretty balanced overall. They have some counter dive, they have some poke with Teru, and they have that tankiness, that bunkers they need with damage mitigation.
Also, I've always been partial to Mercy on first point assault defenses. Just the ability to be able to make it so your defense isn't immediately thrown into the dumpster from one early pickoff. Just having the ability to bring someone back up. Pretty good. I think still underrated at times.
I think for Paris in particular, because of how the actual entry to the point works, where there's really only one real entrance and very high sides of both these towers, makes it hard to pressure out the defensive Pharah Mercy.
Pharah's on both sides right now. Valentine not really focusing on the air war, focusing on the ground. Both Pharahs just a non-aggression pact between each other for now. Looking at the ground, and the ground really on both sides A-okay right now. The poke has not been dramatically effective so far.
Teru does have a pretty significant advantage on that barrage, though. WGS looking for some halt hooks, but Athena, they're trying to play the LOS. They're trying to just wait for the barrage and the nano. They know they have a little bit of an early advantage. Just go invest that nano very quickly, actually. And they're hoping that Valentine's going to find something, and he does!
Valentine able to find Inhyuk. Athena trying to move their way in. WGS find the tooth and nail. Here comes Teru up over the top. Barrage ready, looking for the other Pharah, unable to connect. But meanwhile, what's going on? Damon just getting so much work done on the other side, helping push WGS off of the point.
I mean, I don't think Teru was happy that that point of view was on him there when that happens, as Valentine's now getting cleaned up along with Overwatch. But the important part is the nano was used to zone the opposing combo, to zone the barrage that WGS had. And while it was happening, Damon then invests the Mail. And because Gableshi is on the hog, there's no way to eat it.
Oh, so that was...
Ace! Bye-bye.
That was good from Damon, but that was also just on autopilot from Ace, where it was the classic, I'm not going the strafe maneuver. Can't do that. Gotta make your movement a little bit more unpredictable.
Now we're looking at a barrage v barrage fight here for Athena and WGS. Ace also has that blizzard of his own, but he has to worry about the power that Shubil has. Because Shubil can be looking for the eat. Can be looking to deny that value there, as WGS are looking at the entry here. Don't find anything with their halt hook.
They really get the first pick off. Half down immediately. Half gonna be res. Name really going for the res. Res not denied. That's unfortunate for WGS. They couldn't get there in time. Now getting poked down the other way. Teru's Rockets doing a lot of work. WGS, they give up some room here. Ace still gets caught. Can't disengage. Barrage still in reserve for Teru. Lands and kind of rocket onto the Pharah. And WGS is still trying to push on into this here. They get named. That's a big one. That's one person can't be res. But the blizzard on the other side, far bigger from Damon.
Damon finding a lot more value so far on this Mei. Valentine, sure, he's going to find that late frag on the half. If he finds two, he does find two. He has the barrage. This is actually potentially winnable as long as Overwatch doesn't go down. But right as I say that, Overwatch is down. Valentine is going to have to go to the back.
He's alone.
He might be looking to hunt someone.
He's going for the spawn barrage.
I mean, I think that's actually value. It can be a pretty decent value here. Meta doesn't know this though, as Shubil's looking back. He's gonna go looking back though. He's waiting for Valentine.
Where is Valentine right now? We needed an APB out for him. Put out the milk cartons. We don't know where Valentine is relative to the map. It's a mystery even to us.
WGS during this chaos though have made it to the point they're gonna invest the supercharger, and Shubil Silly's is like, okay, let's break it and let's get rid of Inocast.
Valentine coming back in from the barrage, from the flank, gets half, but nothing else in the end. Plan Omega flank, not really working on out. That means Athena gonna be taking map 2 and being up 2-0 here at the half.
Pretty solid first hold for Athena there. WGS just never able to find the entry they needed. In particular, Ace on the Mei really never found value on the Blizzard. He wasn't able to remove those cooldowns early to set it up, and every time that the engage happened, even though Valentine was owning the skies a lot of times, Damon was just winning the ground war. Damon was sitting there and just dropping far more impactful Blizzards.
So there it is, Athena saying, you know what, we're gonna end the season on a high note. And so far that seems to be the case, 2-0 here at the half. And I really just wish I had a point of view of Valentine here where it seems like Valentine was just on the mother of all flanks, where clearly the plan was to try and surprise someone out of spawn. As you mentioned mid-fight, I think that Athena knew what was up, so it just ended up being Valentine kind of removing himself from the fight for a very, very long period of time.
I mean, he came back in the end and got the surprise barrage on the half, but too little too late, because his team was already getting cleaned up on point. They had already invested their ults and they got countered, and they really probably needed his poke, needed that space that he was trying to create the back earlier, but he was just getting zoned too hard. He was just, it was out of the fight for far too long.
So, Athena saying, maybe we can end the season on a sweep. Are they going to be successful? Join us after the break to find out.